Well, this is really unexpected because y'all can see us.
Video.
Oh my God.
Aren't we more attractive than you anticipated?
We're all so gorgeous.
Yeah. They just watch this and they're like, ugh.
Pass.
We look at the analytics and it's just the
Nay.
drop off. Is like, oh. There's got to be some sort of like beauty filter we can like add or something.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Freckles.
Yeah.
I want freckles, please.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the eyelashes or something, just to kind of make it just a touch more fabulous, guys. Can we please? Come on.
Well, without further ado, welcome to the recap room. Everyone, welcome to the recap room, your go-to podcast for all the inside scoop and hot takes on all our favorite shows. Today we have video, and now you can see Dan,
Hello.
Arda,
Hi.
Olivia,
It's me.
and myself. Whoa.
Whoa.
And you can see that Julian doesn't read that intro bit.
Yeah, totally.
That was on the top of the list.
Yeah, no, I totally don't read it off my phone every single time. I had to memorize that.
He's been up since 4.
Don't look at the bags under my eyes. Anyways, today we have a very special episode because, again, yes, we are on video. I'm going to say this like 5 million times, but it is very special. It's very hard for us to do this. Just know that's all I can say. But we've got some exciting acts. I remember Olivia was telling me, have you seen this episode yet? You're going to really, really like it. And so we're excited for this.
Yes,
So,
very excited.
Yeah, no, I would go as far as to say this was probably my favorite episode of the whole season so
Yeah.
far. I really liked it. Yeah.
Olivia's favorite episode of
Some
the
great
season.
acts in this one, yes.
Yeah,
This is
good
good.
stuff.
This is very good. This is very good.
Was there any bad acts in this one?
A 3.
I mean, I got a few nays.
Yeah, no, I have some nays this week as well.
3 nays for this week?
Some nays.
Oh.
Some nays.
Don't take it out of the mic.
This week.
All right. So let's start off with our first segment, Slay or Nay, where we go through all of the acts and we say whether it was a slay or whether it was a nay, or we can even do hesitant slay. We have different variations of slay as well. But without further ado, slay or nay. All right, slay or nay, Eduardo Antonio Trevino.
Oh, such a slay. An absolute slay. I love this kid.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
It was a cute sleigh. It was a really cute sleigh. He had a great. Okay, that was it. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Short. It was a
Try
really
to
cute
save
sleigh.
it. Try to save it. I also thought it was a slay. Yeah, I'll say a slay.
Yeah, I think Slay.
Yeah.
There's maybe some qualifications on that moving forward, but for now, certainly a Slay.
Yeah. Okay. Next one, we got Chibi Unity.
Oh, slay.
Sleigh.
Absolute slay.
Big Slay.
Yeah.
Big Slay.
Big
Yeah.
slay. Cool. I'm excited to see whether or not we disagree on any of these, but we'll see. All right. Heather and Bogart.
Oh, slay.
It was such an awe sleigh for me.
Very, very amazing slay.
I'm going to rock the boat and say nay.
What, are you serious?
Deal
Dun,
with it.
dun,
Deal with it.
dun.
Oh my God.
Dan doesn't
For
like
an
Bogart the
amputated
cancer
dog?
dog.
Wow.
Put that dog down and laugh. No, I wouldn't. But for me, it's a nay.
Well, it was great seeing you on the pod after being canceled.
Canceled.
This is his last episode, everyone.
Dan died going back to his home planet.
All right. Next, we have Papayaso.
Oh my God. I like a very definitive slay or nay generally, but I would give Papayaso a slay or whatever because I thought it was a little mid. Sorry.
I would say a sleigh and a half for this one. It was
Half of Olivia's slay.
yes,
Like leftover
to compensate for Olivia's comments, but yeah,
Slay and a half. Would that be a slazel?
Oh,
Dan. Nice work, man.
very nice. Very nice.
Slazel. I love that.
All right.
It's a slazel.
I have to say absolute slay. I'll get into it later.
Nay.
Nice.
Whoa.
Okay.
I'm not going to apologize for it either.
Again, like I said, this is Dan's last week.
I'm already out, so I might as well have some fun on the way.
All right, next we have Morgan and Roxy.
Oh, the aerial girls. Oh, major slay. Such a slay. A gay slay.
A gay slay.
a very
So this
gay
is now
slay.
the 5th different variation.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm fake as hell.
Slazeles and gay slays. And
Now, this is going to be called slay or nay or gay slay, slazzle, hesitant slay. Like that's going to be the whole segment.
It has evolved.
Yes.
Slay. For sure.
Okay. I also say slay.
I'll say nay again. Yeah, that's right.
Damn.
You're just being a hater to
My
be a hater at
goodness.
this
The
point.
English guy's in a bad mood. Deal with it.
Hey man, need some coffee or something? Like
The cold brew. you should have tried the cold brew.
it's the food. We haven't had the food yet. That's why. After the food.
Yeah, once I've had some Indian food, these are all slays.
Oh, yeah,
come on, it's fine.
Just wait until the after lunch recap show. We'll get to that. Next, we have Kevin Lee. Oh, the magician.
Nay.
Cool.
Definitive nay.
Definitive.
He's cute though.
Ooh.
I totally agree with you. And a part of my slay comes from that too.
I love that. It's like, didn't like your act. Call me though.
If you want to go over my thoughts over there.
Have a heated discussion. You know,
I'll bring the heat.
Oh, I regret saying he was cute.
oh man. Yeah, I'll say slay. You know, we'll talk about it.
I'm going to say nay again.
Oh, wow.
Wow. This is gonna be. I wonder what the title of this video is gonna be. It's like
Dan says nay.
Dan his ass.
Dan's spicy opinions.
Yeah, right. Can we just get a still of you for the thumbnail? Just great.
Oh, that's going to be one of those frustrating ones for people that are just listening. That I hate when you're listening to something that's also filmed and you're like, oh, I can't see.
Oh my
what
God,
you're
no,
doing.
yeah, I know what you're talking
Incentive to
about.
watch our
Incentive to
video.
watch.
Hey, man, you know, you got to check out the video.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, next we have Donovyn Diaz.
Oh, slay.
That was such a beautiful performance, slay.
Slay.
You scoundrel.
Dude, you got like more than half of the list on the nay list. So this is whoa. He's like, it's gonna be on video. Great.
Each time you name one, I'm like, pick a slay one, pick a slay one. None of it.
All right. Tito Tsai. We'll start with you, Dan.
Slay.
Oh yes, there we go. Okay.
That guy was amazing.
Nice.
Oh, me.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Such a slay. This was probably like, it's tight, but this was probably my favorite act of the night. Definitely one of my favorite acts of the season. I love this guy.
Yeah.
Wait, was this a sword guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say like a hesitant slay, honestly.
Ooh.
Oh, I've got beef with you now.
Well, that makes it two of us.
I'll also say slay. Absolute slay. All right. Next we have Duo Dadiva. Or Dadiva.
I think
right?
it's
Duo
Dadiva.
Dadiva. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh God, this one's tough. I like a hesitant slay because I feel like they did that thing that I've been seeing all season where it's like, oh, they're not giving us the best in the audition because they're trying to save it, but it's like they almost didn't get through. Sorry, I'm gonna stop talking about this now. I'll save it for later. But like hesitant slay.
Wait, hold up. Which one is this?
On the little balance board thing.
Yeah.
It was the guy and the girl in white on like the ballot. It was like a cylinder
I
and then
guess
a
I
board.
skipped
Yeah,
that
this little
one.
Chippendales.
Oh, you skipped that
outfit.
one.
I skip that one. I'm just gonna mute
Such
myself.
a nay. I'm not even going to bother watching it.
So I also can't have an opinion on this because I think I got distracted or pulled away from while watching this clip because it was yesterday that I was watching it. But I have an interesting story about or theory about this, but we'll talk about this.
Oh,
later.
okay.
Well, I'll go slay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh wow, that's a surprise. Ah.
Don't think you know me.
I guess not.
And the rest are nay. All right. So next we have Josh Alfred.
Oh my God, such a slay. I love this guy. I was cracking up. Huge slay for me.
I totally agree. I think Trisha Paytas was jealous of this one. I thought it was just so good. It was just so funny. I loved it.
I also say hesitant slay leaning towards slay, towards like more of like a strong slay. It's I don't have bad feelings about this, but it's yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll say a slay. It's maybe again a qualifying slay, but it's definitely a slay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Next we have Improv Everywhere.
Nay.
That's an opinion.
So tell me yours.
Oh, well, let's save it for the meat of it.
I mean, this was my favorite night of the act. So this was like a definite slay. I don't know. I live for that cheesy stuff. I thought it was so cute.
I would say Snay.
Oh, I love snay. That's such a funny word.
You know, because I'll get into it later. Yeah.
Nay.
Oh. Okay. All right. Next we have Ahmed Bharoocha. One of the failed,
The comedian guy.
the comedian dude.
I liked his aunt act. Like, I guess I see why he didn't get through. Snay.
Didn't watch this one.
It's okay. Snay.
I'll say nay.
Nah,
That's
okay.
fair too.
All right. And then next, and then last, we have Daragh.
Dora.
Oh, this was Daragh, and what's the dog's
And
name?
Dexter.
Dexter. This is the waffle balancing dog.
Yeah.
Oh, such a slay. A lazy dog. I love that.
I say absolute slay. These were, yeah. This is
I didn't watch that.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Big slay.
Womp
Big slay.
womp.
Absolute slay. All right. Let's get right into it then. All right. So let's start with our first act. We have Eduardo Antonio Trevino. You know, this kid's got a voice.
He's got a very good
yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Very good voice.
Yeah.
And it's something very different. It's something that we don't often see. As a New Yorker, my first instinct when I heard the music starting was to just look down at my phone and pretend that I wasn't there because I was flashbacks to being on the subway. But then it was I thought it was really, really good. I think he might struggle moving forward.
Yeah.
I think it might end up being like, okay, well, we've seen this. Is there anything else? But for this, absolutely. Yeah. Really, really good.
I think in terms of like, because there's a huge difference between Spanish network media and American network media. And I think there's a huge pull in American media. So I think him being here for exposure and just putting himself out there, all of these network, like all of Univision, Telefutura, like all these like different like Spanish networks are going to be run at a chance to like try to grab him for a story or maybe like hire him for something, or I don't know. I mean, you know, I think his voice was amazing though. Like,
Really good.
yeah. And like, I'm not a huge fan of mariachi bands, but when there is a kid singer in it, I think it does really, really well.
Yeah, I think him being a kid was also a big part of me being like, wow, because again, like his voice was really good, you know, like he's at that age where his voice is going to start to change. So like the control he had was impressive. His stage presence was impressive. And I really liked the way he represented the culture. That I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah.
It was definitely, and I said aw for this one. It was such an aw act for me. I loved
Definitely
it.
an all moment.
I loved this one. I think that this kid is an absolute star. Like he not only has such a gorgeous voice, but like the level of professionalism and showmanship that like he was just like exuding throughout the entire audition was really something special. Like I enjoyed every second of that. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's also such a smart way to audition because it's like so many people, I feel like there's like a split thing on this show, right? It's like some people are like, oh my God, the singers are my favorite. And then there's people like me and most of us, I think actually, who are like, oh my God, singers. But it wasn't just like a song. It was a performance. There was like instruments. There was suspense. It was like, I don't know, it grew and grew. It was so beautiful. I really loved this. I also like mariachi music a lot. So like, and it's something we don't really see on the show, you know? So I thought this was spectacular and that kid is a star. I can't wait to see where his career goes. I almost hope he doesn't do semifinals because then we know the secret, you know, that like they have
Snapped
like they own some of your likeness if you go to the semifinals. So I don't know if we have to cut that out. I'm sorry, Julian.
No, I mean, I think we can keep that in because like we're being real about the show.
It's been
you know?
publicized,
Like,
I think.
No, yeah. So it's like I almost hope he doesn't go to the semifinals and just continues his career because like I think that he has such a huge career ahead of him.
Absolutely.
He is incredibly talented and has great presence on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's also something to be said. I mean, obviously, you know, I can make a joke about, you know, mariachi bands on the subway, but I think for most people, that is what they think of mariachi bands, of like, oh, it's this busking thing, or it's like a restaurant on a Thursday night, they'll have a mariachi band, but then having it on stage and forcing you to just like, this isn't background music for, a Mexican style eatery. This is an art form. And these are people, creating incredible stuff. And it's maybe a nice reminder that it's not just this kind of, almost jokey thing that it's often portrayed as.
At the end of the day, it's also another part of an art form,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I think it definitely is stigmatized or like seen in like a weird sort of lens where it's like, and again, us being from New York, we're very like,
we see it almost more casually or something, you
Yeah.
mean, right? Like, and this was kind of like putting the spotlight on it. And I loved this one.
Yeah,
I can't praise it enough.
But yeah.
Great
Shout
job,
out to you,
Eduardo.
Hey.
All right, next we have Chibi Unity,
Oh.
the golden buzzer of the night.
So it was an amazing performance. I loved how expressive they were with their movements and with their clothing and like with their faces, everything. It was just a great, expressive, beautiful performance. I loved it. No doubt it was going to get some golden buzzer. I think the group golden buzzer was also appropriate for it. The only thing is like, I'm just going to be a little annoying. This was the same with the Mayas too. Like we were talking with Olivia, me and Ellie, and like Ellie was like, that was the same with the Mayas. But they were flown from Japan, a 30-person dance group, probably with their instructors and stuff. They were flown from Japan to the US and they stayed at a hotel, 30 people. So that's a lot of expenses. And there's a reason why these expenses are being covered. If I think there might be something guaranteed, there might be like a production situation angle to it, but it just didn't feel like that was not an audition. They were just professionals.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, and this happens all the time, I know, but this was one of the moments where I was like, oh, come on, because like, how can anybody compete with that? Like anybody that you was on the stage can compete with that unless they're a professional. So that's the only part that I was iffy about it.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I think especially with, I didn't know this information before coming into this. So now that I know this information, it does make you think about like, and I get it. If you televise an act that just gets 4 yeses and maybe moves on, fine. But if it's a golden buzzer, you know what I'm saying? Like at that point, then it's just like, well, it's a produced act or it's something that they knew that was going to be good coming into it. And so was it preconceived?
Yeah, they've sought it out. They've they've orchestrated this moment.
Yeah.
And that, again, it doesn't mean that they don't have talent. Of course they have talent, but it's like it doesn't necessarily feel like it's in the spirit of things.
Yeah,
maybe.
of course.
Yeah. Like how a 7-year-old kid is going to compete with that.
Exactly. Yeah. Like when the what's his name, Donovan, the dancer, coming on
Oh.
later. Like, I'm just one dude. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like 50 people on the stage with their costumes and the whole thing. I've just got my little tight trousers. We'll get onto him later.
It's hard knocks for the solo dancers, I do have to say. But I don't know. My opinion on this is the entire show is so produced. Like everyone's like famous-ish already, or like a YouTuber or like a TikToker or like has some like pretty significant online presence. So for me, I'm just like, I just want to enjoy the show. So like if they're good, even if it's like, oh, this whole thing is fake, it's like, so is everything else. So I'm just like, I'm going to enjoy what's good. And they were really, really good. Like that was not only dance, that was like theater. You know what I mean? Like it was a theatrical performance. It was so like beautiful and enticing. And even at the very beginning of it, what I'll say is I'm like, oh, is this going to be kind of just like a shadow dance act? Just because I've seen a lot of shadow dance acts and stuff on all of the Got Talents, but like they started off like that, and I almost feel like it was clever to start off that way because then it built into something so much more that as a viewer I really didn't see coming at all. You know, I kind of thought they were gonna stay like do that thing where they stay like behind the blanket and whatever, but it turned into something so much bigger, and there was a lot of emotion to it. And also one thing that I really appreciated about this was like sometimes there will be a dancer and the dancer is so good, but it's such a shit song that I'm just like, oh my God, like I can't even
Like
enjoy
Donovan.
this. It's like the world's like sappiest, crappiest song. And it's just like, they were like, oh yeah, here's like a pop punk. Am I saying that?
Like, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of like
Julian's
punkish,
a pop punk expert, but it was sort of like a pop punk rock and roll vibe tune, right? And like a good song on AGT, how rare that is. Like, I'll take it. I loved them. I cannot wait to see what they do next, even though I think it's going to be a challenge to top that. But that just like makes me all the more excited for what they're going to do next.
Yeah, they were phenomenal. I think the coordination, the professionalism, it was an amazing act. And I don't know. I mean, even the song choice surprised me because like the fact that a lot of rock is coming onto the show is insane because you would think in today's modern day, it would be a lot of pop, a lot of trap, a lot of rap. But now it's like rock, which is kind of a dead form of music.
Don't say that.
Part of me
Strong
no,
disagree.
News about this.
Strong disagree.
No, but I'm going to be completely honest, and I think that's why some of the artists of today are thriving because they take those elements of rock, of something that is seen as like this isn't so popular anymore. Let's revive it and give it a new sound and put a twist on it. Like I always think it's so interesting when anything rock comes on because I'm like, this is something that we used to enjoy that dominated the pop industry back in like 2001 or to like 2006, I want to say.
Sure.
And like, we got to hear that sound again because it's just phenomenal. And like more people, I don't know. I
get what you're saying though, because it's like there is a lot of like good, I'd say more like alt rock music that's still coming out like today and stuff, but it's not like radio play music.
That's what I'm trying to say,
so it's like you kind of have to seek it out yourself. Like I find like the most alternative rock music on my own, just like listening to Spotify radios and stuff. And that's
Also,
really where I find it.
It's streamed the most. According to a Nielsen poll,
Really?
rock and alternative are
thank
the
God.
number one genre right now. So
A
you're
slave
good.
for rock
A slave
music.
for rock music.
Woo!
yeah.
I will say, in terms of the song as well, I really like the fact that it was just one song.
Yeah.
Because I dislike it when you have these big dance groups and they just cut up all of this stuff. So
They do a
it's
mashup.
just like beat drops. One
Yeah,
after the
no,
other.
I get that.
So how do we feel about light balance?
I
mean,
love them
they
though.
are good.
They're just spectacular. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I love Light Balance.
I mean, it doesn't mean that's bad necessarily, but I really liked that this was just one song that they'd listened to and said, right, we can go on this whole kind of journey
Yeah,
and
yeah.
change
Yeah, I
it
see
up.
what
And
you're
I thought
saying,
it was really good. Yeah.
All right, next up we have Heather and Bogart.
Oh, little Bogart. I loved Bogart. I thought he was a really talented dog. I like the story, but honestly, for me, it's like, you know, of course, it's like sad and heartbreaking. And it's like, oh my God, a sick dog. Like that makes me so sad. But I actually thought that, like, you know, sob story aside, the act was pretty entertaining. And it is pretty fantastic that like a 3-legged dog can be like have that level of athleticism, you know, because like all I can say is like, I have a little wiener dog. Okay. And he is like fully able. I can barely get him to go around the block. You know what I mean?
Wait, I
So
didn't know
it's
you had a
like to
wiener
see
dog?
it's like,
You have a wiener dog?
or well, he's at my mom's. I'll show you when we're done filming.
What's his name?
Guy. His name is Guy.
Yes.
I don't know why it's such a funny name for a dog, but it really.
Because he's just a little guy. But he literally is because he's so
Oh my
small.
God, that's so good. That is so good.
But yeah, I guess my point is it's like, you know, like him and also just other dogs I've known in my life that are fully able. And it's like, they're like, oh my God, you want me to like get up and walk over there? You know what I mean? So it's like, this dog has 3 legs and like wants to do like athletic activities. Like that's pretty badass to me. You go Bogart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that aspect of it was really impressive too. But after seeing the dog on BGT, I don't remember which one it was, but that was like a crazy dog act on BGT. Like
The
he
Italian guy?
yes,
Yes.
he just did it with like one treat and like that was
Yeah.
it, the whole thing. So, like,
The
Where he's
sleepy.
like, waking up and it's his morning
Yeah.
routine.
Oh.
that was like
Wait, that was AGT. That was earlier
That
this
was
season.
AGT?
Because it's the guy who was like in the pajamas, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
it was
yes.
earlier
and then
this
the dog
season.
finishes up watching TV.
Oh my God, no, that dog was also
cutest thing
phenomenal.
ever.
Sorry.
So like no worries. After seeing that, no dog act I feel like can impress me. So in that regard, I was not impressed. But just knowing in the context of like having three legs, going through all these treatments and everything and like finding his passion again and, just being able to bond with her again and like doing all these stuff. I thought it was just, the story added so much to it. The act was entertaining also, and the dog was so cute. Like making thumbnails for him was so much fun because like he had such a cute little face. So it was pretty nice. I loved it.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I mean, like at the end of the day, I just think any sort of like dog training, like obstacle courses for dogs, insane. How do you like in the amount of hours you have to put onto that on top of like all of, I'm guessing like all the physical therapy that had to be done for the dog. Also reminded me of the dog from Parks and Rec. Do y'all remember? Was it
Bandit?
I think that's what I thought, but that's from the Office. That's
wait, no, I know what you're talking about, but I also can't remember its name.
Is it Hero? I thought it was
think
Hero.
so. Yes.
Hero.
No,
Is
I
it
think you're
Hero?
right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wrote down Hero. At first, I was gonna write Bandit, but then I remembered.
Bandit.
No,
No,
Bandit.
that is
that's
one
from
of
The
Angela's
Office.
cats.
Bandit.
And it was that. It's that
Bandit.
Bandit.
Oh, that's such a good
episode. But yeah, just reminded me of that, and I was like, I don't know. I have a soft spot for dogs. So, yeah. All right, Dan.
So Dan the nay.
Okay.
Dan doesn't like disabled dog Bogart.
That's our thumbnail.
Here we go. So you all know that I have two dogs.
Yes.
Shout out to Baxter and Charlie. So immediately when he came out, my first note that I wrote is biased. So I'm like, this is great. He's great. Obviously, he's great. And the reason that it's a nay, I don't think has anything to do with Bogart. It's a three-legged dog. I will stop a car to look at a three-legged dog. Like I love, like my Instagram feed is all disabled dogs, like just top to bottom. It's amazing.
Nice.
But I just thought like it was a little bit unimaginative. Like you say, maybe I'm spoiled by this Italian guy who's, got this amazing bond with his dog. Or I feel like there's been lots of other dogs. Like there's the one that was like a pirate, and then there's the one with the little cowboy hat, and doing lots of different things. Like I feel like the woman has done a great thing, and obviously he's had lots of difficulties, and so well done her for overcoming them. But I just think it just lacked a bit of imagination.
I understand what you're saying because like just thinking about it through that lens, it's sort of like it was just kind of like a standard like obstacle course
that
and
she had
stuff.
to do multiple times because it's like she does it once and that's great, and then there's a bit of something else, and then let's just go and do it again. I'm like, come on, like.
No, I get that, where it's like a hint of creativity. Even like it's like they wouldn't have even had to like change the actual things the dog was doing, but like maybe like adding like some cutesy elements to like the props or something.
Yeah.
I could see that. Maybe they'll do that in the semifinals. Like I said, this whole season, I feel like half of the acts are like, I'm gonna give a mid audition so I can like wow you in the semifinals, but it's like everyone cares about the auditions more.
So nothing to do with nothing to do with Bogart. I think Bogart did his best. Do you know what I mean? But as a performer, I think you're only as good as your coach. And if your coach is, not giving you that, as a dancer, you're only as good as your choreographer. And I think her choreography maybe left a little to be desired. So don't hate me.
That was a good statement. I think we'll keep you on for the next episode.
You just wait until I get to some of the others.
Oh yeah. By the end of the episode, that should be the title. Dan gets canceled.
Does Dan get to stay?
Dan's last and final.
I love
podcast.
Let the audience decide.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think Dan enjoys his job just as much as we do.
Ellie's like, Dan, I'd love to keep you on, but the people have spoken. Right? Is your P45 fine?
Oh God. How are we doing?
7 minutes.
Oh, we're good. If anything, give me like a yeah. All right, cool.
If anything, just maybe not sing them.
No, you're good.
Just say the words. I don't know, something maybe.
I will be singing the time.
So y'all, I'm gonna keep this in. Y'all don't get to see this, but our cameras don't get to record for 30 minutes straight for some reason, or an extended period of time. So we have to keep getting up, pausing the recording, and starting up again. So hopefully I've done a really good job of splicing this thing together.
Isn't it amazing how natural it feels in spite of that?
Yeah.
Great work, Julian.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Future Julian.
Oh God, this feels a little narcissistic now.
Future Julian, full of Indian food.
Meanwhile, I'm there just, oh, God, why did I do
Sweating and sleepy.
60 gigabytes worth of footage, 10 gigabytes worth of, oh God.
I'm full of biryani.
All right, let's move on. Next, we have Papayaso.
Oh,
So,
okay. So I'll just get this out of the way because I believe I gave him a snay or a hesitant slay, or did I just give him a nay? I don't know, whatever. But this is the thing, is that I loved the bit so much. And I loved coming out as this clown, and then it's he does the funny animal impressions, but then it turns into the impressions. And the thing is, all of his initial impressions that he did were good, but then he decided to do the finale impression as a Simon Cowell impression. And I'm sorry, that did not sound like Simon. That sounded like any other British dude. And I know that because there have been about 1 million impressionists that have come on this show and done Simon Cowell impressions, and they have been just top-notch impressions. And it's all of his impressions up to the Simon Cowell impression were perfect. And then that one was just a flop. So I just thought that it was a good act with a really L ending. Honestly, that is how I felt about that one. But I like his shtick, and I look forward to his next one. But I just feel like he fumbled the bag with that final impression. It's my opinion.
all right, so Dan.
Yeah, kind of similar. His impressions. I don't know whether obviously I am looking at it from a slightly different prism as a British man. But he will get a certain amount of credit in this country for that sounded like a British person. But when you're actually British, you're did that sound like Jason Statham, or did that just sound like a kind of slightly gruff English person? So I think I've talked a lot on the podcast about the packaging of an act. And the act can be really good, but if the packaging isn't great, then what are we doing here? And for me, just the kind of smiling, goony clown thing, cringy for me. Not good enough, I'm afraid.
Do you like clowns, just standalone clowns? How do you feel about a standard clown?
I do. There was one, I went to see the Big Apple Circus this past year, and there was a clown in that, and he was really good, but it was more I really liked his kind of pratfallery kind of stuff. The actual character work that he did, I was like, you're a 45-year-old man. But yeah, so they can win me over. It's not a kind of guaranteed red buzzer for me, but yeah, it just didn't do it for me.
That's really interesting because for me, it was the exact opposite of what you said. I think the act was okay. I agree. The impressions in general were not accurate for me. I think I expected a lot from Jimmy Fallon because Jimmy Fallon is especially an easy one to do. And I think he was really not doing Jimmy Fallon. He had the laugh kind of, but it didn't hit it. But the impressions were not amazing, but the packaging, I think the act was not that professional, but I loved the packaging. I loved that it's a clown because you don't expect a clown. I mean, I think that was the whole thing of you don't expect a clown to do semi-good, I'm gonna say it this but impressions. So and the fact that he started with two really shitty, almost I think one of the judges said a joke audition, and then he went into a real one because I was on the second animal that he's doing, I was please turn this into something an actual audition. Then I will really laugh at this. And he exactly did that. So I think he delivered in that regard. And I don't know. I just loved his energy as well. I thought, I don't like clowns, but I thought he was just a nice clown. I thought it was cute. Heidi said that he looked like he was enjoying himself during the act. Mm-hmm. And I think that was a part of it too. So for me, it was I loved the packaging, but I didn't like the act that much, kind of a thing.
Isn't opinion and taste just such a funny thing?
It's almost as if they're not objective.
See, it's funny because I feel like I have a little bit of bias. I enjoyed the act only because of the fact that it took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting impressions, and whether or not the impressions were good, I didn't think they were that great. But it was still he lowered the bar and then out of nowhere, just something that came out. And then I also have some bias because I have a couple of funny stories. So, when I was a kid, my parents hired a clown for one of my birthdays.
Aw.
And so the clown's name was this Ecuadorian dude. His name was Chiquitin the clown, right? And so I talked to my parents about this from time to time because it's just comes up from time to time when we reminisce. But I don't know what the hell happened, but like my aunt became his friend at some point at this party.
I love that.
And it got to the point where I don't know, maybe he was hitting on her or something. But he was like, "Do you want to come along to like one of the events that I'm doing at this other party?" And she was like,
Damn,
"Sure."
that clown had game.
So
because
she
he was
brought
dressed
me.
as a clown.
So she brought me, and I remember being
Oh
in this
my
car. And we
God.
go to this party somewhere in Queens, right? And when I tell you,
On the same day, Julian?
yeah, on the same day.
So it was your
So
birthday
I went
party,
to
and you
two
were
parties,
stolen from
right?
your birthday party to go to another
To another
birthday
party,
party
right.
with the clown and your aunt.
But this was after the party, right? Like, so I went to so this was my
the
after
after
party,
party.
right? The after
love
party,
that.
right? Taken by a clown and my aunt, right? And then it gets better. So
And this definitely happened. This isn't a dream.
I'm not even kidding because I remember
what was the
this
clown's
happening.
name?
Chiquitin, right?
Chiquitin.
And so
Good game.
So it's funny because so fine. We go to this party, whatever. It's fine. It seems like it's great. And then the fucking clown's ferret gets lost.
This is a dream. This is a dream. This didn't
No,
happen.
this literally sounds like a fever dream. And so I'm not even kidding. We're out in the fucking street looking for this fucking ferret, for this clown's ferret. Chiquitin, if you're watching this, shout out to you. And then, so anyways, so that's the only thing I remember. Fast forward to like, to college, when I start off college, and I'm talking to one of my like middle school, high school friends who I kept in contact with. And I don't remember how this came up, but we talked about this. And the dude's like, "Oh yeah, he's my neighbor."
What? Chiquitin?
And I was like,
He's
"Excuse me?"
everywhere.
And that's how I found out he was Ecuadorian. He's like, "Yeah, he's Ecuadorian. My mom knows him, blah, blah, blah. His car's." And I was like, "There's no fucking way." We walked down his block. His car's parked.
What?
His car.
Is it a
Car's
clown
What
car?
happened to the
and
ferret?
there's like branding on it. His face is on it, and I'm like, "There's no way."
Is the ferret alive?
I have no idea. I've never seen him after that. But like, but it was that very moment where I was like, it's a story. It's,
So
and I
Chiquitin
never-
and your
That is
aunt
such a
didn't work
fabulous
out.
story.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, no, definitely
assuming
not.
that
I
didn't
don't
work
know.
out.
Yeah, no. Just,
But no, good for him. Like he took your aunt along looking at the ferret and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what his motive was. I don't know. I don't know
Hey
how my
girl, you want
aunt
to come
got
to
involved.
Queens to check out my ferret? Maybe a little bit of
I don't know how my aunt got involved in this, and my parents still don't understand how she got involved in this. But at the end of the day, this is what happened, and this ferret got lost, and it was an adventure. And I just remember small snippets of it. But yes,
Core memories.
Yes, so
That's a great story.
Thank you. So Papayaso, you had you hold a special part in my heart because of that.
That is more than fair. Thank you for telling us that,
Of course,
Julian.
of course.
What a journey. Oh, God.
No, but it really feels like
It's
a
the
fever
kind of
dream.
story that you feel like, and then who showed up? Cher.
That was 2 years afterwards. I found out they were also neighbors. Anyways, let's move on to our next act. We have Morgan and Roxi.
Oh, the girl Ariel. Oh my God. I love this one. I mean, they're all like, it was really hot. Like, come on. Like, let's not beat around the bush here. Like, that was a really sexy act. Like, I don't know. Like, but that, all of my gayness aside, that they're so badass because like what I thought was gonna happen was I can't remember who's who, but the girl with like the hook thing in her hair. What I thought was going to happen was she was going to hang from the top and then the other girl was going to like hold on to her and do stuff. I didn't know the one girl was going to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to hold this thing in my mouth that connects me to you." Like, I'm sorry. I thought it was so badass. I thought it was really beautiful. It was really sexy. And it was just like a super cool aerial act overall. Cause like I've seen a lot of acts like that, but like, I don't know. There was a really great like connection between the two of them. And it's like the fact that they said they'd only been working together for like a short amount of time. Yeah. And that the one girl who was holding the girl from her mouth was like, "Oh yeah, the last girl I did this with was like 4'9" and like 100 pounds or something." And then she went from that to like this woman who obviously is not 4'9" and 100
taller than
pounds. You know,
her.
she's taller and like larger and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was really amazing, and like it was gorgeous. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't, for some reason, like aerial acts don't do it for me. I don't know why, but this was really good. Like I set a slay for this because I'm trying to like judge it not based on like just personal preference, but also like the performance. I thought it was a really good performance as well. Like the mouth thing was really impressive. I don't think I have a lot to add on to what you said, but yeah, like congratulations, Morgan and Roxy, y'all rocked.
I'm just glad that her scalp didn't rip off or her teeth like completely like seeing both of those things. I mean, standalone, impressive, amazing. And I've said this so many times before, any aerial act has like, because you have to hold yourself up. You got a lot of strength, and then and I think all of these aerial acts, imagine if they just get together and like, right, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this other person with my mouth. And like, because they're all trying to top it. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be so many aerial acts, but then what makes them stand out? And that made them stand out.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Sure. So.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you gave them a nay, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I don't know whether I'm being too harsh, maybe. Because it was very good. It was very, very impressive. And like you say, you're always looking with these aerial acts. You're always looking for. But what's different about this? Because there's a billion different ones that we've seen, and they're all hanging from stuff and doing the splits, and it's there are certain elements that are always present.
You get used
and
to it.
the teeth and the hair thing combined. Like they saw one of the people who does the spinny hair thing.
They were
and
like,
then they
let's
saw
do
someone
it
else
better.
with the teeth thing. I'm like, wait a minute, what did we just combine these? And that was very good. I think for me, it was. It sounds so like like this awful overweight white guy who's never done anything like that in his life. Looking, I think the transitions weren't very good. I think they were a bit sloppy. I think they maybe could have been improved a little bit. And it did seem like that, like the poses or whatever were good, but how they got in between the poses, I was like, yeah, they only started working together 9 weeks ago.
Okay, no,
a lot of the other ones, it's all very like smooth and like. They're like two eels or whatever, like slipping between. But this was like, now we're doing this, and now let's rearrange, and now we're doing this. And I don't know, maybe I'm being harsh, but
no, but I can see what you're saying. Like the transitions weren't like the most perfect we've ever seen, just because like we've all seen a lot of aerial acts, so I could definitely see where it's like in the scope of like the Got Talent universe there's room for improvement on that. But like I don't know, there was just that one part where the girl, the bun girl, was like spinning around, and I was like, oh my god, she's literally like a human chandelier. And I was like, that's so fucking cool. Like I'm obsessed. But I get what you're saying.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for a lot of these, it's like the bad thing is I think I'm kind of looking for bad things, because all of them I'm like, this is amazing. Like these people have worked really hard on this. And so you're trying to look for, I try and get a little half and half slay and nay.
No, but that's good.
Otherwise it's just.
Snay, man.
We need some snays.
So we'll ask you after the pod again, and like you'll reorder your list again. If you want, so just make sure.
Maybe I've been too harsh. Speaking of sexy.
So actually, Olivia, do you want to introduce this one?
Okay, so he's definitely as cute. I didn't like the act though, and I probably should have given this one more rewatch before doing this podcast.
The
We're talking about Kevin Lee. No, continue. We're talking about Kevin Lee.
To paraphrase everything I just said, I think that Kevin is cute, but I did not like the act. And I do kind of wish I had watched it one more time before we started doing this, because I just watched the episode like on the night of, so his isn't exactly fresh in my mind. I just wasn't impressed with the magic and like the eyeball kernel thing. I was just like, oh God. And like the thing is about it is like, not only to me was I like, oh man, like, cause like, listen, like I love gross, weird stuff. When it goes into being a thing where someone is pulling some shit out of their eyeball, that is where I draw the line on like my gross, weird meter of what is acceptable. So like, I did not love that, but like, that is not why I didn't like it. I mainly just didn't like it because I felt like there wasn't like a lot of magic going on. And I know that I'm being like harsh and stuff, but I have been given like a lot of great magicians and seen a lot of great magic from this show. I just don't feel like it was there. And then the thing is too about the popcorn kernel in the eyeball.
If we could just circle back to the popcorn.
Is that like, because he had that in there, it's like that to me made it very obvious that it's like, oh, every part of this was so thoroughly planned out, because it's like, it's not like he had like a popcorn kernel, a feather, a couple of other things in his eyeball. It's like they were going to pick the card with the popcorn and he was going to pull that popcorn kernel out of his eyeball. You know,
He
like
would have been upset if they were like, no, at the cinema, I have a hot dog. And he's like, oh, God. He's got to squeeze a frank out of his eyeball.
oh my God.
Or maybe he would have had to turn around for that.
All right, if that's what you want.
The thing is,
got 3 different things
goes
planted
nothing,
on
I
it in
guess.
different areas.
I do almost wish I had rewatched it to like see like if I really missed any like fantastic magical moments, but I didn't. So my opinion is the same. I don't think it was great. Maybe he has like something a little better for the semifinals, but he's cute and I liked his outfit. So
So that's the thing I wanted to say, because like I thought the act was pretty good, even though the tricks seemed like they were very simple. I feel like some of these magicians that go on and show everything don't give themselves room to improve or raise the bar.
Yeah.
Because I always think if you set the bar low, then the expectation is lower. But then once you do
That's
something
like my
really
whole
impressive,
life.
no, seriously, like why talk yourself up when you can just lower the bar, and then once you do
Bingo.
something kind of average, it's kind of viewed as a little bit better, you know? Not saying, I mean,
no, I get
take
what
that
you're
with a
saying.
grain of salt. But in terms of the show and in terms of his magic trick, I mean, he's got the charisma. And again, the trick wasn't super, super impressive, but it was good to the point where it got the 4 yeses, and now it gives him a lot of room to be like, great, what can I do next to really wow them? Because they're not looking at him as like I don't think they're comparing him to Shin Lim. They're comparing him to his first act or whatever his act is. And then again, low bar, lower expectation, higher, like, there's a higher payout. Anyways, but I can understand. I mean, the popcorn kernel thing, dude, you can give yourself an eye infection. And like,
I was stressed. I'm like, he's going to get pink eye.
Yeah.
And that goddamn popcorn kernel in his eyeball.
Lord knows what else he's been hiding on any of his other orifices.
The hot dog in his eyeball.
What is
It feels like, no, I got the Hot Wheels cars. Oh, jeez.
Jesus Christ. But yeah.
I thought it was interesting that you brought up his outfit, because whilst it was quite stylish, it was like the most nondescript. Like, you're a magician, dude. Like, give me something. Like,
I'm a
right?
sucker for a nice pair of beige pants. Those were great beige pants. Like, that is an outfit that like I would wear, or I'd see someone wearing it and I'd be like, damn, man or woman, anyone could, or non-binary person, anyone could wear that outfit and look great. I loved the outfit. But no, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, ooh, like the cape
I'm a
and the
magician.
wizard hat. That was not going on, but I liked the outfit.
I think the Colonel was very memorable for me. I think honestly, I'm
That's
just
a
gonna be
great
controversial,
point.
Yeah.
but like to me, that was the point of like, oh, like let me pay more attention to this act, because like what the fuck is going on? Like how did that happen?
Yeah.
I really watched closely the eye, not to bring back trauma for you guys, but I don't know. I thought it was really impressive. I'm pretty sure there was a part of it where he was really cute, so I paid extra attention.
Yeah.
Sure, but I thought it was like just good enough to a point where I agree with you. I was curious about like what's going to be next.
Yeah.
What is he going to give? And then that gives him more room for growth.
Yeah.
So, and like, see, I feel like the thing that affects watchers the most is to see the amount of, even like in RuPaul's Drag Race, I feel like this is the same too. The amount of like how much you improved rather than what you started with and like what you bring every time. It's like how much you improved from the last time. So I thought it was pretty smart as well. And I liked the guy. I liked the act. I thought it was cute.
I think you do make a great point though, because it's like, listen, I hated that popcorn kernel moment, but like I will always remember him as the popcorn kernel in his eyeball guy. Like
Really
if he
solidified
hadn't
him.
done that, like it would just have been like, oh, like the cute magician. You know what I mean? And I probably would have forgotten him by the time we started doing this podcast. But that popcorn kernel, it's like, I am not going to forget Kevin Lee. He had the popcorn kernel in his eyes. So that's a really great point. I didn't think about that as much.
I think we were talking about it upstairs where after I'd seen the act, I told you and Kayla, I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing that magicians do. Where they just like
crazy.
make things appear from like the corner of their eyelid. Because I've seen it happen before where it's like a magician will like put in a needle with a thread and then make the thread come out of the eye. And that's a very common, like, I don't know why it's a common magic thing in the magic world, but it's a common thing for some reason.
Oh,
It
God.
does. It's not actually. This is a stupid question, but like, it's not actually inside the eye, is it?
I have no idea. Personally, I think it is. And I think it might just be a thing of like, well, maybe we don't know about, like, maybe we can hide things in here without it actually affecting the eye or something.
It feels very David Blaine to me. I would think
does.
I would blame
Yeah. It
David
does.
Blaine
Yeah.
for like, oh yeah, what I can do is I can put a frog in my ear. And I'm like, come on, Dave. Is that magic? I don't know.
I mean, the dude really did swallow a frog and then make it come back out.
He's a
It, like,
freak.
he's
Where
This
did
guy.
where did it come back out from?
from it. No,
What was the journey?
Get ready, guys.
I'll,
Ribbit.
we're cutting this part out. No, but he did do this thing, and it's this thing of like he.
Just say ribbit.
But where did the sound come from?
It's a little
Which
echoey.
orifice? Oh God! It was this trick of like he had studied with this person. I think it was out in Africa who
Right.
learns how to store water within a certain part of the stomach and learns to control parts of the stomach.
Yeah.
And so what they do is it's I think it's a very poor part of Africa or a village where they go to this dude for clean water. And and he basically is like a reservoir of water. And like he keeps it in his stomach. He can drink any liquid and regurgitate that same liquid and then regurgitate water afterwards. So David Blaine was like, I need to learn how to do this.
Wow.
And the trick that he was learning was he drinks an entire thing of water. And it's funny, he does it on Kimmel. And Kimmel's like, oh, you're really thirsty. Without even explaining what the trick is, he just starts chugging water. And Kimmel's like, oh, you good there? Like, you need some water? You thirsty? All right. So he drinks the entire thing. Then he drinks kerosene, which people are just like, oh God, that's
What is
horrible.
kerosene? Is that poison?
Lighter fluid.
Yeah.
Like straight up lighter fluid. Drinks it.
Jeez.
And then what he'll do is he'll get a stack of papers in some sort of he'll basically he'll get a match or something, and then he'll spit out the kerosene to like blow fire, and he'll do it onto a stack of papers. And then once all the kerosene's out, then he extinguishes the fire with the water that he drank before that.
Yeah.
And it's and he had to.
Now
and it's-
that's some badass
it's
shit.
insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
y'all
God,
should check
that's
it out.
so
It
cool.
is insane.
Yeah,
But-
send me the clip.
Yeah.
I want to
Bring
watch
that
that.
on AGT.
Y'all should check that out as well. I mean, if y'all want to check it out, but dude's a madman. But yeah, that's where he kept the frog. So he drank a glass of water with a small frog, and I think it was for Drake, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, maybe.
I
Yeah.
think it was for Drake that he was doing this. So like,
And
Cher was there.
and there was the ferret was there. He ate a ferret. Full circle. It was this thing, and like he literally drank it, and Drake was like, "That's cool, bro." Like, okay, and then he just regurgitates it, and it's alive, and of course it's insane, but yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
No,
okay.
you don't apologize. I'm just
great-
like, I'm in awe. That's crazy.
The best reaction to a David Blaine trick I've ever seen is when he does this crazy one on Harrison Ford.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. And it's like, pick a card, whatever card, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, open this orange. And the card is inside, like packed inside the orange. And the orange zest doesn't look like it's been. And Harrison Ford just looks at it and goes, get the fuck out of my house.
He has a point.
It's so
Oh,
good.
that's so
It's so
good.
good.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think it's all part of that same magic special. I think it's Railer Magic, I think it's called. But y'all should check it out. It's all on YouTube.
Oh no, I certainly will.
Yeah. Before we continue, Olivia, is there anything you'd like to say to Kevin Lee Say it to the
Oh
camera.
my God, no, guys.
No, okay, sorry.
Not even.
This is your number. Let me stop. Anyways, let's move on. We have Donovyn Diaz. Sorry for putting you on the spot.
I'm just trying to think who is like actually the cutest one of the season.
Oh,
Of the season.
Who's the cutest guy of the season?
Oh, that's such a hard
That one guy,
one.
Mitch Russell's really cute, but I did not like his song. Every time there's a guy that's cute, I don't like his
Wait, the firefighter.
he's not my type.
He was the cowboy guy. I think he's single.
Yes, the cowboy guy. The cowboy. That
are
was
we
my
talking-
No, the
favorite,
cowboy
yes.
guy
we
is the
talking about-
hottest guy of the
wait,
season.
are we talking about
Mitch Russell
when he's singing his song and he's
He
like,
sang the-
and then they
died.
400 cc's of blah blah blah.
Oh my God, no.
soy milk guy?
Oh,
The
That
soy
was for
sauce?
his dad, though.
with the weird actor we were talking about
guys.
last week, right?
No, Sonny Chatham, I just love, but not in a romantic way. But no, Mitch Russell. So he came on. He was wearing a cowboy hat. He's very handsome, and he
wrote a song
sang
for
a
his
song.
dad,
Someone
or son.
died, and he's
Okay.
It was
Oh,
the
God.
most tragic story because it was, and it's not funny, but it's just too much.
no. But the
That,
song
like,
was so directly exactly what happened, and I was just like,
man.
it became
he is
like the
attractive.
number
What the
one
hell?
song on the country
Really?
charts like the day after he sang it. So listen, maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about with country music.
Yeah.
Mitch, I think you're super cute.
I mean, maybe if
Okay.
you said like Georgia corn or something in there, maybe, the whole
Corn up the corn up the
or chicken fry.
Corn in the tractor.
Look at all that. All right. Anyways, we're devolving way too much. Let's move on to our next act. We have Donovyn Diaz.
Donovan was definitely really good. It was a beautiful dance. It's just, we said this earlier, it's so hard to be a solo dancer on this show just because it's like you're really like, you're competing with dance groups, which is literally you times like 30, times 40, times 20. It's so hard, but he is incredibly talented. And like, I don't know, he should like have a big career in dance. Like he is a beautiful dancer. And like some of those like flips that he was doing were really out of this world.
bringing the
like,
gymnastics into it. I
they
think
were
was a really good-
fantastic. Yeah, no, he was great. I just think it's going to be hard for him to shine in the competition with so many dance groups because even think about it, like Avant-Garde didn't even get a golden buzzer, and like the level that they were at, you know what I mean? Like there's just a lot of competition, but I think that he's great. I think he has a nice story to tell and stuff. He seems also like a very sweet guy. So like I think that it was a great act. I just think it's going to be difficult for him to thrive in the competition.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I hope they judge the audiences and the judges like judge him like on a separate category, like not because like group dance acts and solo dance acts. I think they should be different because the way a group can fill the stage is so different than a way one person can fill the stage. I think he did a really good job with using his space and his body and his expressions. I at one point, the choreography felt like it was just a little bit too theatrical almost to like kind of compensate for that situation. But I think if he like for some points, if he toned it down just a little bit, like with the expression, it was like my mom does this. Like it was just like, it was a little bit too
Oh shit.
So in this week's segment, we have Arda performing an interpretive dance for us on the pod.
Slay.
I could have gone with this for the moms too. I don't know why it was this, but it's like maybe a little bit, just like throw them in there, kind of a thing. But I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. Yeah.
The one thing that always impresses me about dancers is how they break down their bodies to the point where they like it becomes an instrument of art, and like the way it's being used combined with the gymnastics that goes into it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really, really nice, and it's impressive. And I think there's also that extra layer of like, well, I can't ever do that.
Yeah.
If I tried, I'd get a cramp. I'd probably be in the corner and would be like, nope, I'm done. I think
I just can't even do it to the start. I can't do any of it.
I couldn't even get into those pants. I mean,
Those were some tight pants. I was like,
those pants are working hard.
No, I know.
Encase his legs.
dude, how did it not rip? I mean, it's got to be stretchy. Like, it's got to be like a,
I assume it was some kind of polyester blend.
Actually, 90% polyester, 30% cotton,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing I'll say for Donovan though is that, like it's hard, but it's not impossible to win as a soloist because like we just saw, given he was an aerialist, but we just saw Aiden Bryant win All Stars and stuff, and he was a solo aerialist. Yeah. That was kind of an unexpected win. So, you never know.
Yeah, you think like, mate, again, as with so many of these, you think like, what's he bringing next? Because now he's in the show. And there's a producer saying, well, maybe we could bring this audiovisual element into it, some lights and some, whatever.
Like even some background dancers, like not like a ton, but like a couple.
Yeah.
would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it could work.
Okay. Anyways, next we have Tito Tsai.
Oh my God, can I please start on this one?
Yes.
First of all, okay, just before I get into how absolutely impeccable this act was, that man's skin, I have never seen skin so beautiful. Like for a second, and I'm not gonna hold you guys, I was a little stoned when I watched, but at first when he came out, when he came out onto the stage, I was like,
this dude's skin. Are you all seeing this?
I almost was like his skin and his face was so perfect. I was like, is that like an AI? like literally just because it was like, that's where are the pores? Yeah. Where are the pores? It was, oh my God. Yeah. But okay. So anyways, moving past me being a little stoned and thinking he was an AI for a second, that was one of the coolest freaking acts I have ever seen on any Got Talent ever. I have been saying this all week long, but I'm going to say it again for you guys. It was like something straight out of like the Studio Ghibli universe. Like it was so magical and beautiful, and like how on earth does one even begin to learn how to do that without like slicing themselves up? Like it was, I don't know. I for a second was like, is he going to be the golden buzzer? And I kind of was hoping that he was, but then I was like, no, he's a solo act, and that's rare, unless you're a singer or I don't know, whatever. But he didn't have the golden buzzer shtick and stuff. But to me, he gets my golden buzzer. Like I just can't explain how mesmerized I was by that act. Like I really felt like I was like transported like out of AGT into like some like cool anime universe. Like it was so beautiful. Like
this is that one.
Yeah, the one
okay.
I've been saying all week how obsessed I am with this act to everyone in the office.
But you know what's funny? Like it reminded me of, do y'all remember what the fushigi balls are?
Yes, yes,
like
but swords.
But swords on a person.
Yes.
Like that's exactly, do you know what I'm talking about? No.
So it's like this ball, right? And it's like it rolls. Like you can like roll it.
So it's like, imagine a crystal ball that you kind of just like learn how to like maneuver on your hands, and it's weighted, and it makes it seem like it's weightless, and it looks like it's just flowing. So, yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of. And also just like, I was looking with the skin thing, going back to that. no, but seriously, like I was looking at it and I'm looking to see if there were any scars. I couldn't find any.
He just like had the most beautiful skin I've ever seen in my life.
Because like, I would imagine you could probably practice with like wooden swords for a little bit, and that could possibly be the same weight. But then after a certain point, you have to move on to regular swords. And that thing is scary.
Do you think they were real swords?
Yes.
I will say that is the one thing, because I thought it was amazing as well. It looked like the kind of thing that would be in like a kind of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like crazy martial arts film. And you'd say, well, no one could do that in real life, but this kid's doing it in real life. But the only little nitpick that I would say is like, I want to see them swords cut something. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Just to show, like,
I agree.
This is...
You don't trust Tito?
I do, because I think that they were real swords, but I just think something like that would just give it that extra little...
The edge.
Theatrical...
Literally.
Yes. It would give it a very sharp edge. Beautiful. Yeah.
No, but I get what you're saying. Just to be like, oh, look, evidence.
Yes.
And then it's like, let me get on with the show. Yeah.
Like that one on BGT where it was the guys with the scary faces and they were like jumping down on the swords. And then at the end, there was a watermelon, and they put the watermelon on the
Oh,
sword.
yeah.
And it was like, here's proof that this is an actual thing, just
Yeah.
as a little finale to it all. I think would have been quite nice. But yeah, I mean, it was. I think Heidi described it as mesmerizing, and it's, that's what it was. It was like watching a lava lamp or something.
No, really.
Amazing.
It was so fantastic. I cannot wait to see what he does next. It's one of the ones I'm the most excited for. I love you, Tito.
I think the skill, of course, like I'm not gonna like discuss the skill, but I think this is just one of those things where it's like, like okay, for me, like I don't know, it's just not my. I was not excited about it. I was not like, oh my god, give me more of this. I know you guys were, but like I was not. Like it was fine. If you're gonna do anything with the swords, be like that gay guy.
Oh,
The
well, I mean, that guy was also
Just, like,
really cool.
yassify
But
it a
I mean,
little bit. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what, like, I think that it was Yas.
I think that it was Yas.
I think it was Yas.
This is the part of the podcast that would like to discuss the Yas levels of this one.
This was a mesmerizing sleigh. You know what I'm saying? Like a trance sleigh, you know? Like it puts you in a trance. You can kind of like watch it. I don't know. I think watching it high is a pretty good call.
Yeah, maybe that would have changed my
No problem.
This 4K is really doing its thing.
It's like they're all moving, but they're not moving.
It's so good.
Am I moving?
A deserved roast.
No, that's really good. All right, let's move on to our next act. We have Duo David.
Dadiva, is it?
Dadiva, yes.
I don't know.
I think so. I think it's Dadiva. Duo Dadiva.
That sounded right.
So I have a story about this one, right?
Okay.
Didn't see the act, didn't see the full act, right? But do y'all remember there was once a person or an act that needed a translator, and it was the same lady that started translating for Sophia, or unwarranted translating for Sophia at some point. I don't remember what exactly the act was, but it was like, she was like, I think Simon was like, and who are you? And she's just like, oh, I'm the translator for whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then at some point, Sophia's speaking to the act in Spanish. And then the lady.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about, because the lady wouldn't let the Spanish conversation rock. She kept
literally
interrupting it and doing the translation, and it's like, no, Sophia gets what she said. Like, yeah,
literally,
yeah, no,
it got to the
I know
point
what you're
where
talking
like
about.
Sophia was like, oh, she's translating for me. Like, I think that was the same translating lady, because I looked at her and I was like, she looks so familiar. But anyways, I didn't
I don't
get
know
through the
which
but-
act that was, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because I was like,
this translation just seems like unwarranted
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So
Imagine if Dan's talking to you in Turkish, right?
Yeah.
And you have a translator. Or no, sorry. You're talking to Dan in Turkish. Dan only knows Turkish, and you're mediating, right? Okay. And then the translator that's standing next to Dan starts translating for you.
no, I know, but like
what?
why?
That's what I'm
so,
saying.
No, that's
that
the whole
feels so
thing.
inappropriate.
Yeah, no, it felt very like, this is America's Got Talent.
I'm not sure what kind of fun talk you're doing there.
No, I completely agree. And I think it is the same lady. We've got to figure out what act that
act it
was.
was, yeah.
If we do,
But it
maybe
was
we got to
so
record
funny.
like 1 second where it was like, guys, it was blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
If anything, we'll link it down in the description below. Check the timestamps; it'll be there. We'll make sure to put it. But it's I remember watching it and being like, oh my god, that's the same lady, and I was hoping something would happen, and then I got pulled away for something. But
So is it like kind of Miranda rights where a foreign act will come in and they say, you should have a translator. If you cannot provide a translator will be provided for you. Kind of thing. Like she's just on retainer.
I guess so. I mean, she's probably just there for the show.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of unrelated. I don't know why I thought about this, but do y'all remember that there's this one clip that went viral? It was a oh my god! It was a sign language interpreter for Waka Flocka Flame.
Yes, no, and she goes hard.
And she goes hard, but I think Waka didn't realize that she was interpreting, so he's like vibing out with her.
Yeah, and then he started dancing. That is one of the cutest videos I've ever seen. I love that.
And he's like, "Oh shit, she's going hard." And he's like going. It's the funniest video.
No, that video is just like purely good vibes.
So good,
You know,
so good.
oh, I love that.
But anyways, yes. What did y'all think about the act?
I thought that what they did was so impressive, but like I kind of got, because I feel like this was one where the judges were like split on it. Like if I was a judge on AGT, I would still give them a yes for sure. But like I think they were trying to do the thing that everyone has been doing this season that I keep circling back to, where it's like, oh, I'm not doing my best performance just yet. I'm saving like my coolest tricks for later. I think that that's what they were trying to do, and it almost like very much backfired on them, because like I don't remember which of us have seen the clip, but like I believe it was like Sophia and Howie liked it, and then Simon and Heidi didn't, and then one of them like got convinced and ended up saying yes, but it was like this close to
being
it
like
not being a yes. And I knew from the editing of it that it was like, this one isn't going to be like, oh my God, everyone thinks you're amazing, blah, 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 because they started the act so fast. You know how whenever it's going to be a good one or like a very like important, memorable
they
one,
take their
it's like,
time.
oh yeah, like whenever you're ready. And then it's like 30 seconds of like,
No, dude. Okay, can I tell you? Like,
so when they started that
dancer.
one right away, I was like, okay, so something weird's gonna happen here. Sorry.
Can we make a TikTok where it's us pretending to get ready for an act, and it's just a bunch of different angles of us and then it never happens? I feel like we should make a
love
TikTok.
that. We
Don't
have
take our
to do
idea.
that.
I feel like that's something that we should do, and it would go viral because it's like, all right, whenever you're ready.
Few moments later.
But then never give them the act, and it's just like, oh, so good.
No, yeah. So I guess my feeling with them was I liked the act, and I could see like how impressive what they were doing was, but it like in a way, I feel like I've talked about other acts. It's like it felt small on the stage.
Yeah.
Like I almost wish they had like maybe like one balancing thing here, and then they like up the stakes with like an even crazier balancing thing, just because that's what I am used to seeing with balancing acts and stuff. Is kind of like we start here and then we go here. And I know that they were like a balance, like a mixed act and stuff, balancing. And what exactly like dance, aerial, like contortion. I don't know. They were a mixed act. Okay. Because it was balancing and something else. But I just feel like it needed to be bigger, and I'm glad that they got through. Hopefully it will be bigger, you know, like in the semifinals and stuff if we see them there. But I just sort of felt like I very much understood where the judges were coming from, that it felt a little small, even though you could watch it and you could see like, wow, this is cool, this is impressive. But it just like felt like small in regard to the stage.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, it's definitely one of those ones where they're keeping a couple of cards in their back pocket of like, if you like this, then put us through to the next round and we're going to rock you. I just loved that it was one of those ones, and I'm thinking maybe I'm harsh, not saying yay on the or the slay on the other aerial girls, but the fact that you can see like he is having to adjust every like 0.3 of a second. Like that is the amount of work, the amount of practice, the amount of effort that goes into that. I just thought it was very, very impressive. But it's one of those ones where you say, yep, you've done enough, but I want you to step it up
Just enough.
Yes,
They
yes.
really almost didn't get through. I'm
Yeah.
glad they did, but
yeah, you'd feel stupid, wouldn't you, if they've got this like fire breathing, like
Yeah,
lion
no,
jumping thing for the second one. They're
exactly.
like, no, we can do that.
yeah. Oh, and you guys missed.
I did.
Okay.
I didn't watch.
Yeah, they were.
Oh,
they
that
were
was
doing,
a nay even with on the thumbnail. Nay, I'm not even going to bother watching these people.
Wait, we didn't have did we?
I mean, there's a thumbnail like on the video,
On the AGT one.
the AGT clip.
Oh, yeah, no, I just Googled it. I just saw them.
I still have no idea what this act is like. So I mean,
So
it's
it was
okay.
this little fella, this little like compact fella, dressed,
like all muscle.
guy.
Like that man is like 100% muscle.
Yeah.
We call those people Pocket Hercules in Turkish.
Pocket
Pocket
Hercules.
Hercules.
I
that.
love that. Oh
That
my
needs
god.
to be the new
Pocket Hercules.
the new
That's-
nickname.
yeah, it's- all right.
Hercules and Linda.
So not duo Dadiva, it's
Pocket Hercules and
That is also so
That's
cute. Oh my god, I love
And he was
that.
like,
It's
he
kind
was
of an
on
insult,
like a kind of
but-
cylinder, and then there was like a board on top
I
of the
guess it's cute.
cylinder.
Oh, he's standing
So
on
he's
it.
balancing on that,
And then
they're
she's
doing,
like-
aerial,
like
you know,
flooping around
Yeah.
on him and stuff. You
and
know
then
what I
she
mean?
did the thing that those two guys did on the ladder earlier in the season of like we're just gonna be like a mirror, like, and she's just gonna be on his head,
Yeah.
just balancing that off. Very impressive.
The crowd loved it.
Yeah.
I will say I love the duality of both of you explaining what the act is, because it's like I get the very technical and then I get the looping around, you know, kind of like, and it's those little moments that I'm like, yes.
Silly words are my brand.
Hell yeah, they're so good.
You're like,
They're
Dan,
so good.
yes, that's what happened, but what did it feel like?
Exactly. But that's why we have
What
Olivia.
was the vibe?
She's giving it. You know, so.
The vibe was a fluke, not a flop, a floop. Very different.
All right, let's move on to our next act. We have Josh Alfred. Okay,
Got a lot of questions with this.
Oh, I love this guy.
so whatever Simon says goes, like, hello? Because Simon literally just overruled everyone and was just like, yes.
The other people said, like the other judges, they said no afterwards, but I'm like, give me more Josh. That guy is so funny. Oh my God. I'm obsessed with him. One of my favorite moments, and there's so many favorite moments throughout his 3 hilarious fake acts, but one of my favorites is when he's the magician and he has the fedora on. And
he takes it off.
So unceremoniously takes the fedora off. And the card's just like, bah. It's just like, bah. It was so funny. Like, it's just, I love this guy. I can't emphasize it enough. I was cracking up the entire time. And then that one part where Howie or someone is like, what was the act? And he's like, the books have been read. It's like, yes.
The books have been read. I have eyewitnesses. Brilliant.
I love him. I hope he comes back. Oh my God.
I think it's great though that like it you know, because at first I was like, the way Billy described it, because Billy was there. Billy was
Yeah,
there.
Billy saw Josh.
He saw Josh and he was telling us, he was like, just wait till you see the guy that reads that speed reads, right? And I can tell that like I will speak for Billy because he has told me this, like I don't think he liked the act, I'm pretty sure, because he told us a lot of times in the office, he's like, oh God, this guy. But I understand the appeal.
Yes.
I get the appeal only because it's a joke. It is a joke, and I see it and I understand it. And you know, I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was hilarious, and like the fact that the judges were just like, "Oh God, all right, move on with the act." But yeah, no, I think he did a phenomenal job.
I thought it was a great use for the context of it, like the context of AGT and like all these people coming in and auditioning and very shy and stuff. I thought I'm going to say he's a comedian, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, he's
definitely.
definitely-
As a comedian, I think he took a great advantage of the place, the context that he's in. And I think it made for great TV, and I thought it was so funny. The only thing is like, I don't know if it's a yes, like go ahead to the finals and like be the winner of the season.
Absolutely.
In that regard, I agree with Billy because like I'm curious about what is going to be offered next. But if this same thing is offered to me on the semifinals and I don't see that happening, but like I don't even know how that can happen, then I think that's a problem because now that context is not going to work for him. So I think he did a brilliant job on this first one, but I think he made things harder for himself if he gets to the semifinals. Made things harder. So I don't know, but it was really, really funny. Like you explained the thing pretty well, I think. Like I'm totally with you. I don't have anything to add to what you said. But the only thing that I'm thinking about is like that part of it, that technical part of it.
I agree.
Yeah,
It was really funny.
I mean, I love deadpan humor. I love the fact that he never broke. That there was no like, hey, another comedian, and this is a joke that I've been doing. He stayed with it all the way. Absolutely fantastic. I thought he was great. I don't want him to go through. I want him to just come back and be like a Seth
Like
Word.
a Seth Word. That's what I was thinking
That's what
too.
I want.
I want like the Seth Word feature from Josh Alfred.
And each year he comes out with doing
collab.
I'm a gymnast. I'm a whatever it might be, and just kind of skewers the format a little bit, plays with the conventions of it a little bit. Because I think it was great, but also like how is this arranged? Because he comes out 3 times. He's got a lot of time, a lot of stage time there. And obviously we don't know it. As I saw it, it was one after the other. It may not have been one after the other on the actual night.
It was spaced out.
It was spaced out. So like, why does he get to come on again? Why does he get to split his act up into 3 parts? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the kind of, it feels like they wanted it to be a Seth Wood thing, but they've like engineered it rather than allowing it to happen organically over a few years of like, oh, and here's Josh back again. What's he going to do this year? Because that I would be absolutely on board. But the fact that he got so much time when, I mean, the guy that we're going to be talking about in a minute, the stand-up comedian, obviously he got more time than we saw, but he's like 20 seconds talking about ants and then see you later. Yeah. So yeah, it was a little,
By the way, I would say for that part, I thought it added a lot for it to be like him coming in. Like he tried on the same episode, he tried his
disguises.
That made it so funny for me. Like I think if he came every year, it would have been funny too. But in the same episode, just trying it 3 times was really. I thought it was really.
But again,
funny.
we get to the issue that we had with the Chibi
Unity.
of like that's very planned.
Oh,
that's very,
absolutely.
He's getting treated differently than other people, and like, do you have an issue with that, or do you just let it all wash over you and like it's just fine?
For me, as I said with Chibi Unity, and I will say it for Josh too, if it's entertaining to me, like I don't give a hoot. Like those producers definitely saw him because he did this on, I don't know if anyone knows, like on Nigeria's Got Talent.
Did he?
He did the speed reading thing.
Nice.
And they were just like, what the fuck was that? And he was just like, I read the books. Like, you know what I mean? So I think they saw him on that and they were like, oh, this could be a funny bit for our show. So they just brought him in and they were like, yeah, come on a couple times.
But here's the thing. Was that actually Nigeria's Got Talent or was that a skit video that he did?
I think it was Nigeria's Got Talent.
It looks like
but it might have been a skit.
That's what I'm saying, because it looks like it was, I mean, to me.
It is difficult to tell sometimes because you go to some of those other Got Talent ones and it's just like 4 people in a garage or something.
It's true.
No, but this was literally just like, it was like a judging panel. There was no audience. It was kind of dark in the background. And then it was like imagine like a black box theater.
Right. Yeah.
And then you just have a spotlight on the person and then there's a table. And that's all it really was.
I think it might have been their 2020 season.
Oh, so then that might make sense.
If I'm not mistaken, but like we should fact check that because I'm not sure. I thought it was real and it was just like a spoof act on Nigeria's Got Talent, but it might have just been an entire spoof. Oh my God. Either way though, like I love him. 10. And he's like 10. Like, plus 1.
I will control Terry. And he did. I mean, he got him to do the things he wanted him to do. Like, he didn't say how. So
it's like Terry's the one who is like, of course I'll just go along with anything.
No, but it's funny to see Terry just go. Just walk off stage.
Yeah, because he like never gets irritated.
Yeah, I know.
Just a super positive Terry. Like anyone comes out and does anything, he turns to the camera and says, "Oh my God, this kid's a superstar!"
I know. Amazing. I love those Terry bits though. That I live for that because it's just like funny one-liners just thrown in there. I love
hypes
it.
you up so much.
My favorite Terry bit is when M they got on and they were playing 1,000 Miles, and you can tell it caught him off guard because he had that moment of like there was that like little twinkle in his eye that he realized what was happening, and he's like, and it's just him looking back at the camera. But I feel like for everything else, like. And even I have to say, I feel like the host job is such a difficult thing because there were so many times where I was watching it when Nick Cannon was on, and I can tell
Nick was not the best.
he was trying so hard, but you can tell he's like,
He did not give a fuck.
all right, great, you got to go out there, and you can tell he just, like you said, he just didn't
Checked
care.
out. Yeah.
Just checked out. He was trying, but the Terry was a great addition.
I personally believe that the ideal hosting thing is a duo, is an Ant and Dec.
Ant
called
and Dec.
Oh,
No,
they're
Ant
phenomenal.
and Dec cannot be topped.
really
make
good.
it
Britain's
so
Got Talent is the better
flawless.
show.
Keep it,
because they can bounce off each
Watch
other.
Britain's
Isn't
Got
that the
Talent.
first one, by the way? That's the
First
first
Got
one,
Talent?
right? The first Got Talent is
No, it was
Britain's Got
America.
Talent. It was?
Britain came 2 years after.
Oh. Well, it is better.
All right, next we have Improv Everywhere. Okay, I literally wrote what is happening because, like, I mean, listen, I love a good. I mean, I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. I thought it was nice. I just think at the end it got a little too messy. It got a little too there was too much happening on stage. But other than that, I thought it was pretty fun. I thought it was a fun act. I don't know. Olivia, you're giving me a face. Like, what's going on here?
Oh my God, I hated this one so much. I thought this was such an L because like the biggest like misstep that they had in this was that it started with that original guy, right? Who comes out and he's playing the piano and singing and he sucks, right? And then it's like, oh no, give him a chance. And it's like, oh no, look, we're actually a group. And then it circles back to the same guy playing the piano and singing the song. And it's like, oh my God, actually he still sucks. like, and then the thing is everyone else started singing around him and then it made it sound better. But his piano playing and singing was mid is generous. It was bad.
Jazz piano moments. His piano playing was good. His piano playing.
I just wasn't impressed by any of it. And okay, yeah, sure. Even if you give him the piano playing, he was a crap singer. Like you should have had someone who was bad at singing in the beginning, and then like, oh my God, at the end it's like, and then he was just like Dancing Queen or whatever ABBA song they were singing, whatever it was.
Take a chance on me.
Okay, and then he was like, yeah, take a chance on me.
And the song
like
makes
it was
sense.
just yeah. The song makes sense. His singing was crap. Like, and then it got covered up by everyone else who was singing and stuff. And it's like, then it sounds good because he's got all these other good singers backing him up. But it's like, it would have been a good full circle moment had he actually been a good singer.
I will say, I wish I had a soundboard
Sorry.
for every single thing you said because you remember that, you know, that TikTok boom sound effect? Like, I wish singing mid, piano playing mid.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be harsh, but I'm not a big fan of like those like goofy theatrical things in the first place. And it's like, if you're going to do it, like do it right. And I just don't feel like they did. And I also agreed with the judge comment that the acting was bad.
For a different perspective, I want maybe to lighten things up a little bit. I love those goofy theater things personally, and I love the fact that it just kept getting clichéer and better and more over the top and more thespian, as Katy Perry would say. It just built on top of it, and I thought it was so cute, and I didn't understand why it was Take a Chance on Me, and then that's why I was like, no, it was Take a Chance on Me, because I think that was like such a cute part of it, because like that's the whole thing, like, yeah, like I suck now, but maybe I won't. But I do agree with you on the fact that like he was not a bad singer, I would say, but he was not a good singer. Like I think the only I think him getting booed in the beginning was either produced or he got booed, or the booing started from the members of the group, because like that was not a boo worthy performance. That was just like, I think that was just like a
Olivia's like, he deserved the boo.
I think it wasn't a red buzzer singing. I think it was like let's listen to it, but like I'm just gonna say no type of a singing. And with the choir, I think that elevated it a lot. The only thing that I would say is I think the UCLA march band was a little
It was excessive. Yeah.
Because it's like, wow, how much money you spent on this.
No,
like,
but that's what
let's
I'm
keep
saying.
it still got talent
They
a
spent
little
a lot
bit.
of money and they didn't even get through.
It just felt like it was getting messy at the end, because it's like once you add all of these elements together, it's really hard to kind of have like going on musical terms. It seemed very monotonous. It seemed like very like there wasn't as much harmony. There wasn't, at least with like you're supposed to have like call and response, maybe to or like coincide it some way, and that's hard to do. You know, there's some Broadway performances that do that, where it's like 3 different voices singing at 3 different times and having them, or like at the same time, and kind of like, for example, there's a section in Phantom of the Opera where I think, oh my God, they come back. It's Furman and the other dude, they're reading the newspaper. Carlotta storms in, and then they're all singing, and then before they get to Prima Donna, where it's like 5 different voices singing at the same time. 2 of them are like really frustrated about the newspaper ratings. Carlotta's just like, I'm not going to be able to be like Christine Diaz. She's outshining me. And then it's like, that other girl is just like, oh, but you'll like, give Christine Diaz like this, like, thing.
And there's a humor to that whole song.
Right. With this performance, that didn't do it. It felt like it was just like they kept singing the same thing, and it there wasn't harmony, and it
wasn't like
just,
cohesive.
It wasn't cohesive. It just seemed messy at the end. But that's just me. So I'm not Andrew Lloyd Webber, so
Don't put yourself down.
you know what? I'm gonna write a Broadway right now. See you guys later.
I mean, honestly, you can write a better musical than his last one. Like that was really. Andrew, what are you doing, girly? Like that Cinderella was not it.
You all thought I was going to be the one getting cancelled.
God, the musical gays are gonna come for me.
No, I didn't like it. I thought it was theatre camp, like nonsense. Just kind of like a flash mob on stage when everyone's already looking at the stage. I just don't think has. I just didn't really see the point of it. I just thought it was a bit. And then she's singing in the audience and here's the thing, I should have done more research before this, but wasn't there like another Got Talent act
yes,
that did
and
the
it was.
same thing?
Guess what it was? It was BGT, and it was good, and they got through. It was a guy named Nicholas something, and he started off also on the piano, but then he had it was the
It's
same
the Love
thing,
Actually
but just
thing.
actually done well. So, and it was on BGT, the
Yeah.
superior show.
You're such a hater.
I'm sorry, Britain's Got Talent is so much better, and you know why.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yes, I mean,
Or well, that's
is it
only
anymore?
one. He's only one of the reasons, but now he's gone. We love David
Daddy
Williams.
David.
Yeah, he's so hot.
Bring David back, please.
Yeah, he's hot and he's
Yeah.
also funny and like he
Yeah.
always picks like weird acts and like he just doesn't give a shit. He's like, oh, this is a horrible singer. I will give them my
The
golden buzzer.
That was so
yeah,
funny.
no.
But I will say, having Bruno on the show has been great. So, like, maybe
I love Bruno
add an
too.
extra seat, have Bruno there as well.
Oh my
'cause-
God, no, yeah, I'd love both of them because I think I completely agree. I think Bruno's hilarious and Bruno is so funny. And I love the fact that like when he feels strongly about something, he stands up because I'm just like, yes. Like I love Bruno. I first saw him on Dancing with the Stars this past season and I was like, wow, he is so much fun. And then he came on BGT and he's so much fun, but it just sucks that he's replacing like the best
Honestly, we can
judge.
get rid of Amanda. Because like, what is Amanda Holden doing? I don't. She just goes like her golden buzzer face. Like, girl, you hit it. Like, why is this a surprise for you? You hit that buzzer. Why are you like, oh my God? I don't know.
I love when they congratulate themselves post golden buzzer, where it's like, oh, give me a hug. That was a good one. Like, it's like, okay, you guys did nothing. But sure, high fives.
Dan,
watched
as a resident,
intensely.
British person, what would you say? Amanda, yay or nay?
I would bring David back and replace Amanda because I think at least Alicia's got like, because she won the equivalent of Dancing with the Stars, Strictly Come Dancing. She won that, so she's got some kind of dance thing, and she was a singer, so she's got something like Amanda.
And her energy, like Alicia's energy, I love that woman
She
so
brings
much
something,
through and through.
and I feel like Amanda's just quite a bland.
I like her outfits. She wears really cute outfits. But then again, so does Alicia. So,
So
Yeah.
does Bruno.
yeah, no, so does Bruno. That's true. The only one
my
who's
God.
flopping with the outfits is Simon.
Bruno, when he saw what M64 was it? Which one? Like the
oh, no,
the
yeah, and he
beatboxing
was
guy?
just, like,
Bruno's
fangirling. I
all
love
over
that.
man, and I totally get it. Like Bruno.
Sorry for the
So was I.
BGT Detour.
No, it's okay.
Julian.
Last thing, real quick. Bruno's golden buzzers are the funniest things, just because
Yes.
Bruno loves to just like. The act can still be going, and he's like, "I need to do it now." And it's just that energy of like, "Whoa!" I don't know. I love it. But yes,
I don't think anyone in history has been more Italian than Bruno.
Oh,
Toggi.
yes.
he is the country distilled into a person.
it's so good.
Like naval shirts and his beautiful skin.
Bruno's phenomenal. Bruno, I don't know if you're gonna watch this or anything, but we
I
love
think he's
you.
definitely watching.
Yeah, we love you. We love you.
We love you, Bruno, but we miss David.
Oh man. But anyways, we're talking about AGT, so let's bring it back. Now we're gonna get on to the last two, which are the failed acts. We have Ahmed Bharoocha.
That was the
comedian.
ant
Yeah,
comedian.
the ant
I liked
comedian.
his ant jokes. I thought they were very silly. I wish he could have seen like a minute more of his act. You know, like it's like cut some filler and like give us a little bit more of the funny ant comedian. Because
What
like
was this funny joke?
it was.
I didn't watch it. That's why I'm asking.
No, it's okay. Oh my God,
That
what was
sounded
it?
like
Was
such a gauntlet. Why don't you tell me what his funny show was? love to hear
so
this funny
about
joke.
He was saying it was like, oh, like the ants, like it was like about like, oh, the ants are so small and they see us, like the ants never stop working. They're always working, but like I'm not a
always in
comedian.
traffic.
I'm a comedian in my own way, but not in a stand-up way. So I can't make these jokes funny like he did, but I thought his jokes were funny. I think it was what they were divided on it, right? Like
think so,
Howie
yeah.
thought it was good, and
Yeah.
someone else thought it was good, and the other two thought it was bad, and he just didn't make it through. I mean, it was funny. He's no like Mike E. Winfield though.
Yeah.
per
Mike
se.
Winfield is so
But we've been spoiled. We've been spoiled with these comedians. Same thing with who was it? Was on week 2 that I was like
Orlando
Leyba.
Leyba.
I was like,
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
I haven't been super impressed by any of the comedians this season. No offense. Except for I like Mandy Muden, but I actually liked her comedy a little more than her magic. She was the British one once again. A British person, but she was the British magician comedian from a couple. She was from like maybe the 3rd or 4th week. Mandy Muden. But she gave them like the books.
But that's the thing. We won't. I mean, I don't think I would hope that we do end up getting someone like either Mikey Winfield, Preacher Lawson, like these really charismatic. We're not getting that so far.
I feel like it's such a tough thing doing comedy on these shows because it's not just be funny, but it's be funny. Like try and get 5 laughs in like 80 seconds.
Yeah.
And so it's not just being a comedian, you've got to be the right kind of comedian as well, because there is a lot of comedians that are a little bit more Shaggy Dog Story kind of thing, if it's all a bit meandery and you'll be laughing along with it, and they just would and they're professional stand-ups, but they wouldn't do well on AGT because it's got to be like, I'm out, it's 8 seconds later, you've already got a laugh, here's another one-liner, bang, you've got another one. And I think some comedians just aren't like that.
No, I completely get what you're saying. And just all I could say is for anyone who is thinking, oh, I want to go on AGT and do comedy, watch Mike E. Winfield's AGT 2022 semifinals performance. Like his audition is also great, but even he talks about how in his like package prior to the semifinals performance, how he's like, oh, you know what I did when I was like writing my thing for this? He was like, I just kept cutting everything out. So it's like there's a joke like literally like every 25 seconds. Yeah. And that is one of the funniest performances I have ever seen on any of these Got Talent shows. And it is exactly how comedy needs to be to succeed on these shows. But it's like every brand of comedy will not work on this show, because it's like sometimes it's like you need 3 minutes just to get to the punchline of your funny story. You know what I mean? But that doesn't work here. So if you're thinking about going on AGT as a comedian, Mike E. Winfield's AGT 2022 semifinal, watch it. Yeah. You will not regret it. It's good.
It's got to be kind of super punchy, and you've got to bring a lot of energy as well.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of one-liner comedians where it's all just like a little bit more droll, a little bit more deadpan. It's like, that's not really going to work. You need to have that Mikey Winfield, that Preacher Lawson energy of like bursting in.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, very that. I agree.
Or even Piff. Because like in his own way, I think he's a comedian as well. Like he does magic, but like he gives you this deadpan.
He's so
like,
funny.
Very,
I feel like with Piff, he's allowed to be a bit more deadpan and a little bit less kind of gag because he's a magician. You know that it's building up to something, so you give him a bit more time. You give him a bit more leeway.
That's such a good point.
Of like, well, I'm gonna, we're building up to something, but along the way he's gonna make me laugh. Whereas a comedian is like, this is what I've got.
You have to just keep going.
This is who I am. This is all I'm bringing to you. So
But all right.
I thought he was good, but
it's just unfortunate,
All right.
we got the final one.
We're getting on to our last act. So now we have Dexter, the dog, and
Daragh, right? Daragh. Daragh.
Yeah,
Daragh.
Okay, I wanted to make sure to say it right because like I was hearing it and like he said it and I'm like, hello,
really quick.
Yeah, no,
I will say with Irish names, like with the way they write them, they're just
no, it's crazy.
Seamus, Neve,
yeah.
Connor, Aidan, like they just throw in letters like willy-nilly, just like, we'll throw a couple of these in there. Nobody will be able to pronounce this.
Oh my God. I just have to really quickly tell you guys, I went to high school with this girl. Her name was spelt like Kaiome, right? It was like AIOM, like HE, like something like that. And it was pronounced Kiva.
Oh my God, where did the V come
That's
from?
what I'm
Ariana?
saying.
What are
There
you
was
doing
no V. So it's just the Irish names. They really do be crazy.
Yeah. It's a lawless society over there. They play by their own rules.
Yeah.
Drank a couple too many pints last night at the pub.
I just feel like there's a J in there somewhere, I think.
I'm Irish. It's okay that I did that.
X. Let's throw in an X. Why not?
I'm not. But anyways, but yes, great dog act.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think such a great dog. And I'm biased because dogs, how could you say no to a dog, you know?
It's
Let's
also
ask Dan. You just said no to a dog.
You know what? You're right. How could you say no to a dog, Dan?
I said no to the choreographer. I think we made that clear earlier. Do not come for me. This one is such a one-note act, but it's perfect.
I agree.
Variety show that you have ever been to, are you honestly telling me that it wouldn't be improved with even 5 minutes of a dog balancing stuff on its head? My God, like you're not going to get an hour out of it, but you're going to get a delicious, a wonderful 6 minutes of joy, absolute joy. And the dogs, like they even said on the thing, the dog doesn't look like he's having a great time. He's like, why are we doing
No,
this?
that's a sassy dog. That's what I think made it even better. The dog is like rolling its eyes the entire
It's a
time.
deadpan dog.
Yeah, no, it was the dog himself was absolutely hilarious, and it's just like, yeah, it's not really a talent. He's just balancing some things on his head, but it's so funny because the dog just was like, oh my God, when is this going to be over? And like that is like the energy that I need on this show because everyone's like, yeah, I'm so excited and blah 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 blah. The dog was like, I want to leave and go home and nap and eat treats. And I love that for that dog. I thought it was really funny and like exactly what Dan said, a deadpan dog, like just balancing stuff on its head. It's like, it's not that impressive. And you know what? It doesn't need to be that impressive.
But it was funny because at the end of the act, it's like after Howie's comment, the dog literally turned around and was like,
that was
I'm not
so
having this.
funny.
I'm done. But,
What was Howie's comment?
Howie was just like, yeah, I'm not really interested or whatever. And the dog literally just turned around and everybody was like, boo.
Howie is a bummer sometimes.
Yeah.
I agree
Like-
with him sometimes though.
I get
There are
I don't
moments
know.
where-
It's
yeah.
just like his taste and my taste are just not parallel at all, and he always frustrates me. I don't know.
Howie, you got to change artist mind. You know, you gotta act a little bit better. You know,
Just like musicals a little bit more, Howie.
No,
Just
I mean,
a little
real.
bit more.
No, but
Come
for real.
on.
yeah, like
Musicals are fun. Like
Didn't he liked the improv thing, didn't he?
No, he was one of the
Was he
ones who
not?
didn't like it. I think it was, oh God. I think him and Heidi didn't like it, and Sophia and Simon liked
my dear
it.
Sophia. I love Sophia.
It's hard not to love Sophia, right? She's so funny and so cute. But yeah, I don't know. I do like Howie though, because sometimes it's like Howie's not afraid to be mean to kids. And listen, I love
cherish
kids,
that, sure.
but like the freaking
I
like
cherish
the
that.
what was it last season? Like the kid choir that just sucked, and like no one had the guts to say it, and then Howie was like, "Yeah, this was giving like school like rehearsal or something." Or he was like school assembly, and he was
saying what we were
right.
thinking, like,
Sorry, everyone was thinking that. Yeah.
realistically, like I'm more than positive that parents that go to like schools to see choruses, there's got to be that one parent that's like, oh God.
I think it's more than one.
here?
I think it's more like 90%. It's like you want to see that one moment with like your kid that you actually care about, and then it's like, oh, they were cute, and then it's like everyone else's kid. It's like, who gives a fuck? Like,
Oh my God, that's gonna be so boring. Yeah.
yeah, no, that's parenthood, right?
I'm telling you, like as we
Suffering.
talked
playing
about it
Candy
last
Crush.
week, choruses, kid choruses, karate studios, like why there are things that as parent we applaud all of the parents that have kids in either karate, choruses. What are other activities?
I mean,
Swimming.
I was a drama kid. My poor mom.
Drama kid.
I did this one play, and like I knew all my lines, but the main actor in the play was like a Sherlock Holmes play. He just there was a part where he had a monologue, and he forgot the whole monologue.
Oh no!
It was such a flop. Like it was like the lady, like who was like my drama teacher, was just like, it's like Solomon, like,
Just in the corner.
in the corner, she was like, She was like, I know that you killed blah, 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 because this, that. It was the funniest thing ever. But like, I just, in hindsight, I'm like, wow, I made my mom sit through a lot of plays.
That's
Thank you,
true.
Mom.
Especially if you're not like on the stage all the time.
No, yeah, then it's like, oh my God, I came here to see like, 7 minutes of my kid.
Like there were some kids where they would be in like these ensembles that would pop up like every 5 scenes, and they're just that people, and I'm like, oh my God, you must really love your kids so much.
No, my parents have been through a lot. Like they put me through swimming lessons, karate. I've been in a kid's chorus in elementary school, and then going to a performing arts high school where you have to perform, and then they were like, here's the spring musicale, like, and I'm there playing the violin, like I'm not actually playing any notes, and I'm in the back of second chair. But anyways,
oh my God, the karate stuff was brutal because like not only are those showcases so boring for anyone watching, but the whole place smells like feet.
It smells like feet. Like I don't know.
Oh my God.
Karate studios notoriously smell horrible.
So bad. But anyways.
If you are a parent, I would encourage you to encourage your child to maybe get into tennis, because I used to have tennis lessons, and now tennis, when you're getting lessons, at least, it's not a spectator sport. Like if you play a team sport, there's, parents coming and watching from the sidelines or whatever. Tennis is just like you're in the tennis cage playing the thing. And so my dad used to drive me to tennis. I used to get out, do the tennis for an hour, and my dad used to sit in the car and read the paper. And I think it might have been his favorite hour all week. He would just get there in a quiet park, read the paper. No one's hustling him to do anything. Oh, he always looks so blissed out. And I go, hey, Dad, I did a good smash. Or whatever. Yeah, okay. Let's go back home.
That's a wrap on
Let's go back home to responsibility.
Yeah. Wow. Or it could be the new thing. Pickleball is the new thing now.
What's pickleball?
It's like baby tennis. I want to say.
It is baby tennis.
It is like
In between
they're
ping pong
paddles.
and tennis?
Yes. No, literally, I think it's ping pong and tennis combined.
You know, like
ping
sometimes
pong
you
on a
get at the beach, like people with like just a wooden bat and a ball, and they'll hit it to each other. It's like that, but slightly more
smaller,
formalized.
okay.
And it's on these tiny little courts, which means you can get more courts in, which means people enjoy it more, which means you have to run less as well. So there's lots of pickleballs. It's the hot new thing, guys.
Yeah, it's the new thing. If y'all ever want to play tennis, I used to play tennis as a kid as well. So like, if y'all ever want to go, like,
Did you play at Brooklyn College?
no, I wish
There's tennis courts.
I know. I wanted to pick it back up. Like I realized that it was that in swimming I wanted to do at Brooklyn, and then
I never swam there either, and I love swimming, so
and
I
the
get
pool
it.
looks so nice.
No, it's a beautiful pool. It's
I
didn't
miss
take
the
advantage.
campus.
Yeah, no, it was a great campus.
Such a good campus.
Yeah.
All right, so what did we think about the acts? Like,
I loved so many acts this week. I apologize to the acts I was kind of mean to. Sorry, Improv Everywhere. But in general, this week was so much fun because even the bad ones, like it was like good conversational topics or something.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we had a lot of great convos this week about these acts. This was a really great week in general, and I liked how much variety there was throughout the episode.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm becoming a softie, but like most of these were a slay for me this week. So I agree with you on, like, it was a great episode.
You came in like the first or second week with an iron fist, and now you're just like, you know what? This is pretty good. Like
You're like the new Simon. You know?
I just got old. I don't have the fillers yet. Just you wait.
I think having your son has really softened you. Really softened you.
Gotta get the fillers, take them out, maybe put them back in. But I think it was a great episode. I think and Olivia, thank you, because like you prepped me beforehand. Earlier this week, she was like, "You have to see the acts. I think you'll really like the episode," because these past weeks have been kind of strange.
There've been some flops.
Yeah, there really have been some flops. So this one, I can confidently say. Maybe not so much you did. But I can confidently say, it was a good episode.
I thought, I think it was good. I think a lot of the ones that I had an issue with, kind of small things. Do you know what I mean? I'm having an issue with them to put them on the nay column. But yeah, there was a lot of really good stuff. How many more audition rounds?
This is it. This was
This
the
is it?
last
This is the last
audition.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, so it makes sense that it was
We
the best
made it.
one.
Yeah.
They're
And then-
leaving the best for last.
Next week is road to semifinals, and then the semifinals start. So next week is like in one of those like boring in
Judge
between
cut-y
episodes.
kind
Yeah.
of,
No, not even. I wish it was a judge cut episode. Bring back judge cuts. Everyone likes
Oh,
them.
just like a compilation.
No,
Bring
yeah, it's
back
like one of those
Judge
ones where
Cuts,
they're
put
like,
Mason.
who? Like it's that thing they do where they're like, oh, road to the semifinals. Who's gonna go to the semifinals? But it's like, but you said yes to
Yeah.
all these people, and now you're gonna change your mind without even like any like ceremony to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I don't know. Well,
Yeah, that's a shame. So then that means that we can now start. We've seen everybody that we're going to see. So now we get to make some lists, and now we get to give some awards. Maybe
Lists and awards.
it's what the internet wants.
Wait, are we talking about the TR awards?
No, I'll never talk about them again.
We disclosed what happened on the pod, I think,
Yeah.
for one of the episodes. But
Do they know about the award, like the shape of the award and everything?
The cheese.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it discreet. I don't know.
Cut that.
what cheese? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, good say.
Yeah. But anyways,
Sorry.
no, but
But yeah, I think we should definitely do some kind of like, what do they call it on the Tonight Show? Superlatives.
Yeah.
Kind of thing of like, this was the most this one, or this was the most this one. Have some choices.
Oh, that's a great idea, actually.
or which
For
one?
next week, will you
yeah.
guys watch?
Or would y'all want to see a live again? Because like, remember we used to do the lives,
we used to do lives.
or a live podcast.
Ooh.
Maybe. You know, I
Let
don't
us know in the
Let
comments.
us know in the comments. And speaking of comments, rate and review us if you enjoyed this episode. We work really, really hard to bring this to you. And like we got video, which is amazing. So please let us know what you think about this. And if you haven't listened to our other old episodes, please check us out on Apple, Spotify, and even YouTube or Buzzsprout and other podcast networks.
Any 5-star reviews we will read out on the show.
Yeah. And
To
leave us
say
comments.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Leave us comments. Let us know what you
Yeah.
think. Let us know if you like it, if you don't like it.
Or what you want to hear.
Yeah.
/C.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Imagine this is the
senses.
last video pod. Just the first and last one.
Womp womp. All right.
But anyways, thank you guys for watching and listening. We will see you all in the next episode.
Woo, bye. Bye.
Bye.